つも君と待ち続けた季節は何も言わず通り過ぎた雨はこの街に降り注ぐ少しのリグレットと罪を包み込んで泣かないことを誓ったまま時は過ぎ痛む心に気がつかずに僕は一人になった記憶の中でずっと二人は生きてゆける君の声が今も胸に響くよそれは愛がさまよう限り君は少し泣いたあの時見えなかった
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Damn it! Lenniget's soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menancia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. It's almost too strong. Be my guest. The enemy wields on too.
We'll soon see about that!
Hurricane
Healing circle!
Try harder! Air pressure! Dragon
Right! Swallow
Dragon Swarm!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Glacial speed!
Continue! Fire support! I'll smash you!
Wind!
Hitting pile driver!
Rising Falcon!
Breath of life! Feel my weary companion!
Listen! Rising Phoenix! Dragon Swarm! Swallow dance!
Negative
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Searing flame!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Here
and now!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Backing down! Resonate with the Lord! Stalagmite! Double demon flame! Blood, rending you apart!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Now in the group! Shattering severing pieces! Attack us! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it!
Scoot back! Stand back! I'll zip it up!
I can carve through armor!
Dragon Swarm! We did it!
Leave the charge to me!
Double Demon Fang! Win!
Now take it through! Elusive deity!
Dragon Swarm!
There you are! Elusive deity!
Dragon Swarm!
Swallow dance!
I'm ready! Win!
Showing off!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Hear me, flame of fury!
Burn strike!
Laser spear! Here's evil!
Double Demon Fang!
Hitting fire! Burn strike!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
It's on! See what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Top field!
Burn in hell!
I think I'll pass up against you!
Pieces! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! Will this help?
Dragon Swarm!
Eat this! Not my fighter! I couldn't make it in time. Take this!
Glacial spear! Here's
Eternal
evil!
Devastation!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
I'm not done! Severing Wind! Hurricane Thrust! Lunar Rondo! Inferno! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Wind!
Dance in the wind!
Hurricane
Heal my weary tendencies!
Without a
Cure!
trace!
Crush! Not today! You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Armor won't save you!
Hear me!
I'll finish you here and now!
Raining Slash!
Resonate with the now or never!
Raining Slash! No further! I'm nearly done for!
Now I'm in the groove!
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Severing Wind! Stardust!
Bloody hell!
Freeze Lancer!
Roll away!
I'll heal you all!
Begin! Hurricane Thrust! Stardust! I owe you one! The flaming side is pure! You are free! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Radiant Light!
Burn!
Where are you going?
on the way.
Dragon Form!
They smite with blackened blade. Armor won't save you.
Annihilation!
Raining Slash!
By the power
I'm
of
just
flame!
getting
Vanish
started.
without a trace!
Watch it.
Eternal Devastation!
Heal my weary companion.
Damn it!
Double Demon!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this! Breath of life! Heal my weary companion! Follow this! You're on a roll now!
Damn it! Back into the fray!
It was nice.
Double Demon Fang!
Right with the
Watch
dust!
Don't give up!
Steel!
I'll heal you all!
Inspiration!
Healing circle!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Breath of life.
Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade!
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
No choice! Eternal Devastation!
Denied!
Double Demon
No
Fang!
further!
Here! Here I go! These ones can run rings around us!
Here I come! Dragon Form!
Primed and ready!
Armor won't save
Watch
this!
this!
Raining
I'll
Slash!
grind you into dust! Eat this! I'll tear you apart!
Luna Rondo!
Resonate with the earth!
Come on, Olympic Dragon! Dragon Swarm! Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up!
Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Breath of life!
By the
Heal
power
my
of
weary
flame!
companion!
Eternal Devastation!
That's
Blow away!
I'm on a roll now!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Flame of fury!
Deity! Rotating
I
fire!
can handle it!
Breath of
Double
life!
Oh!
Heal my
Now
weary
I'm real
companion.
mad!
Burn in hell! Super Dragon Swarm!
Talon Sword!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Blow away!
Watch this! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shattering!
My exploits are bearing fruit. Retreat if you know what's good for you.
I'll smash you! Dragon swarm! Now I'm in the Severing wind!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Severing wind! There! Hurricane thrust! Eat this! No further! It's over!
This one's mine!
Dragon swarm! I'll face you! Cut and fly! Severing wind! This one's all mine! Feel my weary companion! Take this! Hurricane thrust!
Pierce evil!
No escape! You're finished! I'll finish you here and now!
I'll heal you all!
Bloody holiday! Take this! Win! Tear! Hurricane thrust! I'll stop in time!
Thanks, Kisara!
Away! Elusive demon! Can you take it? I'm on it! Coming through! Ha! Mount! Scarlet Inferno! I can carve through water! Come on! Severing wind! Hurricane thrust! This isn't looking good. Resonate with the earth! No further! Yours to be let free!
Sorry,
Burn it out! Big blast! Elusive deity! What's this? Hitting wildfire! Rip and tear! Strike! Oh! Now I'm real mad! You're finished!
Let the mark
You're mine!
heal my weary
Dragon swarm!
I can handle it!
Another incantation ruined.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Breath of life.
Deny!
Heal my weary companion.
Dragon swarm! I'm on it! Win! Hurricane storm!
I need to pull myself together.
Severing wind! Try harder!
Everlasting darkness.
You're mine! Dragon swarm!
Negative gate.
This time!
I'm
just getting started!
Elusive deity.
Stop my spine!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Soaring light spear!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life.
I'll bring you back from depths of
Heal my weary companion.
Dragon swarm!
Resuscitation!
Let us
Radiant strike!
Here!
Dragon swarm! Pay for that! First strike!
Annihilation!
You're mine.
Eat this!
Done for the win!
Too much! No escape!
In a vine.
Take it! Severing wind!
Now it's my turn.
Can't end here!
Don't give up!
I can carve through armor!
Dance on the wind.
What's
Free
this?
Blazer! This
From
one!
beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life.
Free
Resuscitation.
Blazer!
Breath of life. Heal my weary companion.
And more than it won't burn out! Dragon swarm!
Here!
Breath of life.
Where are you
Heal my
going?
weary companion.
Far enough! By the power
I couldn't make it in time.
into the shadows!
Negative gate.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Not done yet! Prepare to be seen! Double demon fang!
Damn it!
Dance on the
Searing
wind.
tempest!
Double
And
demon
my
fang!
will!
Kisara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Remember to tell me. you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Get lost!
Bring him down!
I'm going in! My field! Dragon form!
Watch this!
Not today!
Easy ensnaring to me. Yeah! To me!
That's my cue!
Nothing would happen there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done
This
that.
works!
I'm on
We're not finished!
Smash you!
Lost!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Dragon form!
I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
Win! Persistent! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon form!
With this, I can become even stronger. Little help!
Now you'll learn!
Not on my watch!
Dragon form!
I'll finish you here! A showdown between blade and fist!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
Here!
Rising Falcon! Damn it! Watch! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Eat this!
This one's all mine!
Here's evil! Wind Astral
You picked the wrong fight!
Flawless flight! By the
Double
power
demon
of
fang!
Good thing, not too late.
Now! Frozen!
Hammer!
Hammond! Flame of Fury! Strike!
Dragon
I can
form!
carve through
Hot
one!
Flash! Here's evil! Raging Cascade!
Tectonic
Eternal devastation!
roll now!
Dance in the wind!
I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Go away!
Double demon fang!
Do it!
River!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Barely a blip on our radar. Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone...
No choice!
Dragon Form!
First force!
The flame inside me yearns to be let
Now I'm
free!
real mad!
Time to cross blades!
Leave the charges to me!
Crumble!
Raining slash!
Healing circle!
I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
Radiant Pierce!
Raining slash!
A whirling
Fire!
sun handle
Oh, now!
I never miss!
Eagle, take this!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Armor won't save you!
Healing circle!
Raining blast!
Dust to
Go
dust!
away! I have no limits! You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Glacial Spear!
Wait!
Now or never. Big blast!
Soda!
Freeze Laser!
This one's all mine!
Crumble!
Mirar! I'm not done!
Water Astral Energy!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Tempest Wall!
Double Demon Fang!
Having your dreams!
Far enough! No further! Lost my
Ah! Burn in hell!
I'll heal you!
Hey!
Malevolent!
Eagle Fly!
Healing
What
Circle!
hit?
In here!
Blow away!
Radiant
Raining blast!
Full storm!
No escape!
More
Dragon Swarm!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
I can carve through
No
armor!
escape!
Winds of heaven! Earthborn!
Hurricane
Healing
thrust!
circle!
Blazing
Move
flame!
around us!
I really owe you.
Feel! Eat dirt!
Rising Falcon!
Where are you going?
No escape! Dragon Swarm!
The earth dropped in pain.
Annihilation!
No further!
Raging
What
Cascade!
hit?
All mine! Burn in hell! You're mine!
In here!
Raining blast!
Dare you?
Glacial
Blow
Spear!
away!
Here's the evil
Raining
between
blast!
heaven and earth!
Blow
Freeze
away!
Laser! A wild canopy of lightning!
Dragon Swarm!
Nothing gets by me! These fists have got your name on them!
I'm not done!
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil hard! This one!
Hurricane thrust!
Raging Cascade!
Smash you! I'm on now!
Dragon
Now or never.
Cascade!
Take this!
Healing circle!
Crumble!
Dance in the wind! Need to pull myself
Wind!
together.
This one's all mine! Burn in hell! I owe you one. Rising Falcon!
Swallow dance! I'll finish you here and now!
Raining
Raging
blast!
storm!
Hold nothing back!
Thanks so much!
Raining blast!
I'm on it!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Take this! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
These bad guys really don't mess around. this!
Rising this!
Armor won't save you!
Here I come! Eat dirt!
Healing
Dragon Swarm!
That shouldn't have messed with me! I really am. Now I'm in the groove! Rip and tear! I can handle it!
Quiver of flame!
Blow away!
I'm
Here I come!
in a bind!
Dragon Swarm!
Super swallow dead!
Severing Wind!
Talon storm!
Need to pull myself together.
Talon hurricane!
Winds of freedom!
Rip and tear!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Eagle assault!
Dragon Swarm!
Here it throbs in pain.
Will this help?
Rising
Your
Falcon!
dreams!
Raining Flood! Dragon Swarm!
Glacial spear!
Thanks.
Pierce evil!
Can't get out of this!
Raging storm! Freeze lancer!
Dragon Swarm!
Pieces!
Please, sir!
Take this!
Armor won't save you!
Struck!
Lightning again!
Now I'm real mad!
Here I
Glacial
come!
spear! Pierce evil!
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation! Bounty of lightning!
Do it!
Kitara! Frozen!
Hammer!
By the lightning water!
You picked the wrong fight!
Radiant blood!
You're mine!
Reload!
Dragon
Where
Swarm!
are you going? Raging storm!
Severing Wind!
Ready to go!
Tear! Lunar Rondo!
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Now!
Soaring Light Spear!
I need to be stronger.
We seem to have come across something a little
I've got a really bad feeling about this!
Engaging! I'm one down!
Here I come! Wind!
I really don't give up!
Lunar Rondo!
Blah, blah, blah!
Lunar Rondo! Here I come! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you all!
Dragon Swarm!
Now you see what I can do!
I owe you all!
Shadows!
Dragon Swarm!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
The enemy wields our suit!
We'll soon see about that! Here's the evil!
You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
I'll chain between heaven and earth!
Blow away!
Healing bounty of lightning! Divine dance in the wind! Air thrust! Fire support!
Dragon Swarm!
Raging storm!
Release! Dragon Swarm!
Now I'm real mad!
Healing
Struck!
In a bind?
Struck! Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine! Now!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Right now I'm in the groove! Rip and tear! Now I'm in the groove!
Chain between heaven and earth! Back into the fray! A wailing bounty of
Not
lightning!
today! Dragon Swarm!
I'll tear you apart!
Piercing the wind!
Slash!
Freeze lancer! I'll be saving this one!
Raining Slash!
I'll smash you!
Here's
Blow
some
away!
downfall! More with that
Double Demon Fang!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Let's dispose of the trash.
I see what Slash! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Will this help?
Dragon Swarm!
Its armor's too strong.
Be my guest!
I am saving Rena! Not in your dreams!
Burn!
Will this help? More with that!
Wind!
Dance in the wind! Feel! Healing circle! Saving rewind!
Hurricane thrust!
Lightning
Now for something special! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm! Far through!
Oh! Now I'm real mad!
Where are you going? My Astral Layer charge, Maleficent!
Dragon Swarm!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Lightning
My turn!
Whirlwind Smash!
We did it! Blew away!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! First strike! Abort!
Looks like we won.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shionne.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shionne. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shionne, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dahna from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dahna or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zoogles, then we get some answers.
Here goes! Hit a word!
Sweet now. More for the guy.
Let you all down. Stay away from my friend!
I'll bring you back from death to
Dragon Swarm! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Dragon Swarm!
Healing circle.
Dragon
Wind.
Tear! Hurricane Thrust! Take this! Oh, no, Thrust! Hurricane Thrust!
Eagle Fly!
Hurricane Thrust!
Now I'm in the groove!
Lightning condemn. Hear me.
That's
Glacial
Double Demon Fire!
I'll never be awakened.
You picked the wrong fight! I'm not done!
I'll finish you here and now! Anything in order is alright! Eagle Fly!
Into the shadows.
Now you see what I can— I'll finish you here and now!
Severing Wind!
Finish without a trace. Gale Force. It's weakened.
Falcon! This ends now!
Waterfall.
Crest Blossom!
Sleep now. I'll be saving this.
Nothing gets by me!
I could do without this pain.
I'm on it! Denied!
I'll
This
heal
one's
you
all
all.
mine!
Primitive Fire!
Too much to handle. Healing circle.
You picked the wrong fight! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Lightning condemn.
Double
Between heaven and earth.
Watch this!
A wailing gale in here. And this vanish without a trace.
Shattering the pieces! Attack time!
Struck! Severing Wind!
Prepare to be sealed! Dragon Shell!
Hurricane Thrust!
I'll finish you here and now! Eagle Assault!
Double Demon Fang!
Now!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Annihilation!
Now
Double
I'm in the
Demon
groove!
Fang!
No further!
Finish without a trace!
This
This one's mine!
Blazing Flame!
A whirling
Ready to go!
Wind
Let's get it done!
Right, watch out!
Let's freaking go!
Freeze Lancer! Lightning condemned!
Double Demon Fang!
Healing between heaven and earth!
Not my fight!
A wailing
You'll pay for that!
lightning!
Double Demon Fang!
Divine Savior!
Slide!
Glacial
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
They'll pay for this!
Double Demon Fang!
Raging!
I've let you all down!
Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind! I'll bring you back from just the pain between heaven
Is
and
this
earth!
it?
Resuscitation!
There!
Lightning! Not on my watch!
No further!
Here's the power!
Double Demon Fang!
Now I'm in the groove!
Feel to the front! Annihilation! By the power of
Dragon Swarm!
burning out a trace!
Here I come!
I'm ready! I'll finish! Now you see what I can do!
Explosion! Freeze Lancer! Dance in the wind!
Here I come! Not today!
Sword!
I'll heal you all! Raging cascade! Here! Circle!
Bring it back!
Sword!
This one's mine!
Now! It's feeling!
Take it down!
Away! Far enough! Can't get out of this!
We got him on the run!
Don't get cocky!
Right. Still anyone's fight.
Hollow dance!
Win!
Who cares?
Hurricane Thrust!
Oh, you are gonna pay for that! That
Come on!
I'll heal you
Dragon
all!
Form!
I still got the fight
Blow
left!
away!
Healing circle!
This one's all mine! Talon Storm! You picked the wrong fight!
Thanks so much!
Here I come! Blow away!
That move!
Blow away! Here comes the big one!
Now you see what I can do! Will this help?
Double Demon Fang!
Talon Hurricane! Now we're not my finest.
I owe you one.
I'll pull you back from death's abyss! I can't heal you forever! Will this help?
Swallow Blade! Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
A chain between heaven
Will
and
this help?
earth!
Inspiration!
Double Demon Fang! Not now, not ever. No, can't end here.
Don't give up!
Can't you hear it now?
Dragon Form! I can't move. Not done
In
yet.
the wind!
Raining Blast! Blow
I'll
away!
be grenading
Raining Blast!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Now it's just her! Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shionne, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shionne.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dahna's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Shionne's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dahna.
But the will of Dahna is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dahna's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dahna's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shionne's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dahna might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dahna's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shionne's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I'm determined to save Shionne and Dahna. Nothing I learn can change that. Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
For the people of Lenegis, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How did they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long. I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Dahnan astral energy so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Dahnan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Core's. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They've re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign. And Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey! It looks like the terminals in here turned on too!
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Only 2 sovereigns in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah. We wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now. Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dahna. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Alphen. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Rena's place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Rena's Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Rena's Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dahna's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Rena's Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Rena's Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Rena's Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Rena's Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dahna. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Rena's Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat, too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Dahnan voice speaking through her?
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Rena's Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shionne, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Rena's Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Rena's Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shionne.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't! You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Rena's Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah! We can protect the world and save Shionne at the same time!
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shionne. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shionne. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead, and it's for my sake, so I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Sounds like this Naori chick had quite the big heart.
Her position demanded nothing less. From the sound of things, she didn't focus on differences, least of all those between Renans and Dahnans.
Yeah, it was Naori who first showed me that such a thing was even possible. And then she saved my life by sending me back home to Dahna.
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lenegis for the sake of her people. It sounds like she was quite the hero, all right. A truly caring person.
It's as if walls meant nothing to her. The ones separating the Renans from the Dahnans, or herself from others. She had no need for them.
Which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the first place, huh? Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
You inherited that legacy. Her wish for the world.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding our way, showing us what we can aspire to.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
We're a long way from the residential quarters now. It looks completely different.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, this place... it reminds me more of being back inside the Wedge.
Except the Dahnan astral energy feels even stronger here.
In a portion of the city reserved purely for the Renan Sovereign.
Maybe he just has strange tastes?
This place looks like it has been here for quite some time now. If its design were a matter of personal preference, we would be talking from centuries ago. Or perhaps even further back. Still, this isn't the sort of decadence of taste spoken of in artistic circles. So what is it then?
Hold up, decadence? Artistic circles?
When a preference is indulged to its extreme, it descends into kitsch, eccentricity for the sake of it. I'd be happy to illuminate you further.
That depends. Does it involve you buying me lunch?
The void that art fills isn't the stomach, it's the soul.
In that case, I'll let you know the next time my soul starts to rumble.
Now all we need is something to fill up the void inside your head.
Shut up!
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Rena's Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dahna.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dahna's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Rena's Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
First cry! Blazing
Flame!
I've let you all down.
Stay away from my friend!
This one's mine.
Thanks more for the stop.
Here I come!
I'll bring you back from
More
death
where that came from. I'll heal you all.
You picked the wrong fight!
Healing circle.
I owe you one!
Do not!
No escape!
Eagle assault!
Now! Severing wing! Hurricane thrust! Lunar bomb kill!
All good things come to an end.
Rena slash!
Smash you!
More for the stockpile.
You picked the wrong fight!
I can do this all
Take
day.
this!
Blazing
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! Severing wing! Hurricane thrust! You're mine! Dragon force! I'm just getting started! Raining splash! Flew away! Raining splash! Dragon force! Talon storm! Dragon! Far enough! Here I come! All good things come to an end.
More where that came from. Healing circle.
Flew away!
This one's mine.
Here I come! The flame inside me yearns to be let free. Here I come! Dragon form! In a bind?
Thunderblade! Now for something radiant. Here!
Eagle Ride! The flame inside me yearns to be let free. Hurricane thrust! Easter! Now I'm in the groove. Here I come! Hurricane thrust! Double demon fang! Dragon swarm! Now I'm in the groove. Emerson tear! I'm on a roll now!
No more playing nice!
Dragon form!
Gemini Aqua! Annihilate Hurricane! By the power of
Glitter fang! Double demon fang!
Sleep now!
Far enough!
I'll be saving
Take
you!
this! You! Stay away from my... Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! I'll tear you apart in no time!
A new lease on life!
Easter! Dragon Swarm!
Healing
You're
circle!
mine! Armor won't save you! No escape!
Lightning!
Dragon Swarm!
Not in your dreams!
You're finished!
Into the shadows! Oh, violent darting wind!
I'll tear you apart! Can't get out of this! Rain Flash!
Dance in the wind!
Dragon Swarm! Stardust!
Winds of heaven! Burst forth!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
I'll be saving this one!
What is... Hey, you okay? I can still do this!
Don't give up!
Ready to go! Inspiration! I could do this all day! Take this! Now I'm in the groove! You're mine! You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going?
Raining down!
I'll be saving this one!
I'll
heal you all!
Dragon Swarm! Not today!
Raging
Take this!
Here goes!
Dragon Swarm! I can carve through armor!
I'll heal
Dragon
you all!
Swarm!
Healing
Double
circle!
demon fang!
I'm on a roll now!
Dragon Swarm!
Dream!
Rip and tear! You're mine! This one's all mine!
Winds of heaven!
Ignite!
I'll
Struck! I'm on a roll now! Rip and tear! Raining far enough! Raining sword! Raining flash!
Into the shadows!
I'm breaking all down. Dragon Swarm!
Everyone still doing all right?
Never mind us.
I'll bring you
You
back
worry
from
about
death.
you, Ringwell.
Right! I still got fight in me yet! I'll bring you back from death. Raging storm! Resuscitation!
Take this!
Water energy!
Dragon Swarm! Don't find out of this! The flame inside me yearns to be let go!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
I'll heal you all!
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
How
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally. It was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alphen, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dahna, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dahna. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Dahnan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Volron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dahna. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Dahnan are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law! I am...
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women... what the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers and Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renasalma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena... that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renasalma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dahna. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Dahnans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for those red women, to think they were monsters all along.
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually human at all.
They definitely weren't Renan or Dahnan. I'm not even sure language would get through to them.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle hybrids?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all day.
How about you, Shionne? Doily? You ever seen anything like that before?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the red woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena, and Shionne's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both sound plausible to my ears. They took off with the Renasalma too, remember?
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.